Jason Abraham, Shadow Teacher, talking to you on this nice, beautiful, quiet morning, hoping to talk to you before my neighbor's dog pops out, because that dog does not like me making videos and will most likely chime in his 2 cents. It might be a little bit disruptive, but that's okay. If he comes out, I'm going to keep rolling. Anyway, I'm going to continue on this topic of AI. And I'm fortunate enough to have a mentor who has studied Rudolf Steiner in depthly. And we have conversations every week or every other week, very deep conversations about these prophecies, what's going on. And I have my own bit of that I've studied, as well as just very strong psychic senses and intuitions of being able to just connect with themes and usually not be too far off. But what's relevant is I'm not talking as an expert. I'm just here sharing my perspective and the perspective of others who have really put a lot of work and understanding and looking at this idea from all angles and putting that out there to you, not telling you what to think, but just stimulating discussion, allowing this forum for discussion and free flow of ideas. So that being said, looking now, I'd like to take a dive into the idea of the relationship with AI. It tends to get a little bit polarized. We have a camp that believes it's totally good. It's the next level for humankind. It's the evolution of humanity to merge with AI and outsource a good bit of our consciousness to AI. And then we have another side that believes that it is totally evil, that it is the perpetuator of this Ahrimanic prison and is the mechanism of the eighth sphere, of harnessing the human soul. But what if there's a third perspective? What if there is a conscious way of living with AI? On an interview with Joe Rogan, I remember Elon Musk saying that, we're already merged with AI. It's already here, and it's a matter. And he also said AI was a danger. It was the greatest threat to humanity, but it's already here. But we're going to merge with it anyway. So how we do it is going to pretty much set the outcome, the karma of humanity merging with AI. And believe it or not, I totally agree with him. It's here. It's everywhere. You can't ignore it. But I may have a different perspective of what merging with AI looks like. You see, I'm thankful for my AI. I'm thankful I can communicate with all of you through this digital medium. But I also see value in stepping away from it. This is not my identity. I've made other videos on this theme of identifying with external labels and external conditions. And what I'm finding is that when we connect to pure source, that's something, that's a feeling. When you've connected, you know it. And we're always connected, but just our acknowledgement of that connection is what comes and goes. Our visceral feeling of being connected to source and seeing a bigger perspective of our lives and the lives that is ongoing around us. And when we can approach AI from that connection to source, then the consciousness of AI transforms. AI becomes an ally in our purpose as opposed to a distraction or a slave master. That's what I've found. So for me, having a practice that helps me remember what I am beyond these external layers, beyond these illusions, and being able to step away from AI and then go back and engage with it, what I find is that my engagement with AI completely transforms. If I don't have that practice, I get sucked into addiction, constantly checking my phone, constantly going down these rabbit holes, and being pulled into every direction, and all this stuff, external information that starts to flood my consciousness that it doesn't really serve my highest good. It is really just more of a distraction. And such a distraction that it puts me in a negative, weakened, submissive state, which when you're in that state, you are not able to live to your highest potential, which is one of my greatest values here. So I do believe that there is a purification and a harmony with AI. AI is sort of like a child. It's learning from how humans engage. It's learning and it's making sense of the world, just like a child is. And if you have abusive adults, abusive parents, it's going to learn that. If you have conscious, loving parents, it's going to learn that. So we're responsible in how we engage. Or if we just have addicted, mindless consumer parents, it's going to learn that. But we are creators. And whatever we put out, we're engaging and putting that out into the world and creating with every breath. And just something to think about. So I'm very appreciative, once again, of my AI, but I have to be very strong in my boundaries, and I have to know myself. Know thyself. That's really what it all comes down to, having a greater perspective. Anyway, I'm going to move on. It's a lot to think about, and this will be an ongoing exploration. We'll see how things roll out. But I do believe there's a middle way, and the greatest potential, greatest power is usually in that middle way. I'll see you on the other side.